We opened our restaurant in 1980 until 2003, 23 years. So when did you open, 92?
Well, we actually made our first wine in 91, but it was available for sale in the fall of 92, yeah. Well, it goes further than that. It was the first customer, a reluctant customer. As you were, as I remember it, sort of looked at it and he says, well, I'll try it. And then on top of that is you took the wine like on a Friday. On a Sunday morning, a girl that had dinner at the place was at the winery buying wine. And she was probably our first private customer.
Nice.
Yeah. Catherine Parker, I remember her.
Because Country Squire was a dream that Pat and I had from when we lived in Vancouver. We were in the hospitality business our whole lives. And we wanted to have a restaurant that was our dream restaurant. It didn't make any economic sense what we were doing, but we wanted it to be great. We tried our very, very best to make the best food and the best service that people would ever get. We served 32 people a night at a maximum. Table was yours for the whole evening. There was no rush. There was none of this, I'm gonna need your table by 8. There's none of that. We charged a reasonable price for our wines. We believed in a great perception of value. We would say to each other, if we were the customer, if we were the guest, how would we like it to be? And we would look at it from the guest point of view, and that's how we did it.
What was spectacular about the whole thing was that people would come from Kelowna, they'd come from Kamloops just for the evening. They'd come down in limos and they'd be driven back home at the thing. It drew people from everywhere.
In the restaurant, we were trying to showcase Okanagan wine, and there weren't that many choices in the early days. At that time, the Pinot Noir was probably the most expensive wine available in the Okanagan, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was. Yeah.
And it was like a breathtaking $15 a bottle or something like that.
I think it was 12, Ron.
Was it 12? What was it? I thought it seemed like a lot of money. I thought, who's going to buy this? How can we sell this? But by goodness, people they gobbled it up.
Restaurants of the caliber of the Country Squire and the philosophy of the Country Squire. There were other restaurants in Vancouver that took their business quite seriously. And those were the restaurants, your restaurant, were the ones that we counted on, A, to sell the vintage, but B, to create the private customer. And that was basically our marketing philosophy, is if we could get it to the restaurants, then they became the salespeople for the winery.
We were the missionaries for
Yes,
Blue Mountain.
the restaurant Jesuits.
Yes, there you were.
Yep. It was crucial. It was crucial to our success. Hi, Pat. I'm very well. You don't look a bit different.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful to see you and to see this.
How about that, eh?
Yeah.
Scrubbed up pretty well for an old automotive shop.
You never know.
Well, 8 million gallons of paint later, and here we are.
There you are. Are those the original doors for the shop?
So those are 2 of the original roll-up doors, and then these things here, where
The hoists.
the hoist
Yeah.
the cars up.
Yeah.
So yes, we're
The holes there are still there for the exhaust, so that when we fire up your car, we can put the hose outside.
When business picks up, you'll be able to replace those doors.
We don't get out for dinner very often, but when we do, and we see Blue Mountain Brewed on that menu, bam, that's the first thing we order.
Boy, does that ever take us back.
It
We
does.
hadn't had it in years, and we went out to Brodo for our 30th anniversary, so over 5 years ago now, and there it was on the menu. Oh, absolutely. And just, you know how a taste or a smell or something just takes you right back into that whole thing, just bang. The years
Go walk
just
down
fell
memory
away.
lane, yeah.
Yep, the years just fell away. It was just, oh, thank you.
Hops.
Square One hops.
And this is a very, very rare variety, so
Okay.
highly sought after.
So what numbers of varieties of hops would you
there's hundreds, and I think even here right now we must have just about 40, if not more than that we use just in the brews that we use.
Wow.
Here.
Okay.
They all bring very different characteristics.
Yeah, for sure.
In the craft beer world, it's these guys would have 150 if I let them.
Yeah, well.
That's
The artists, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
When you closed the restaurant, I mean, things had changed drastically. I mean, you had much greater choice.
It's like craft beer. When we opened up the brewery, there was 10 craft breweries in British Columbia. Now there's 100.
There's 100.
There's 100. And similar with wines. You know, how many wineries are there? 250?
Well, there's over 200 for sure. Yeah. We've seen a few changes, old guy.
It's terrifying when you think about it, and you think, what are we doing? Why? We shouldn't be doing this. But we like it.